It doesn't matter if you agree with the literal truth of Christianity or not. The founders did, and they made a country for people who did. And if you don't agree with that, you don't like God. It doesn't matter if you agree with the literal truth of Christianity or not. The founders did, and they made a country for people who did. And if you don't agree with that, you don't like God, or you don't see why too much freedom is leading us all to hate and kill each other, and you don't appreciate that we should not only restore Christianity in culture, but require it in public life, you should go to Canada. You should go somewhere else, where there's a moral architecture built into the law. But here, it doesn't work without God. And when you don't have him, when instead people replace prayer and the rituals of the church with antidepressants, with compound interest, with games and drink and drugs and fornication, kind of thing he does with his wife, offering her around town like she's common property. America doesn't work when we behave that way, because we'll all just end up murdering each other.
Wise words from Milo, my man Milo. What's up, guys? How we doing tonight? It is good to see you. Welcome to the newly named, formerly Ace Report. I like to call it American Fire. I know it's new to you guys. I know some of you are probably a little confused, and that's okay. I'm going to talk about why I rebranded very soon here. So I'm going to give you guys an idea of just... Whoa. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm pulling something up here on my phone. Just why I made the decision I did. And yeah, but anyways, we'll talk about that in a second. But also, guys, I just wanted to share with you that today was an epic day. YouTube is free. At least they claim they are. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And we're also going to talk about how President Trump basically lit the entire world on fire by blasting the UN today. So we got lots to talk about. But first, I do want to address why I changed my channel. So those on X, you probably don't know much difference other than my profile change, and on Rumble, the changes might not have saved yet. But on YouTube here and everywhere else, the show is now called American Fire. Why? Well, be honest with you, I never loved the Ace Report. It wasn't my favorite, but I couldn't think of anything else. When I first started this channel, it was Ace in the Holes, all about stocks. And then I just knew I wasn't going to stay on stocks. And so I fooled around. I finally landed on the Ace Report. I just couldn't think of anything better. And so I started building the channel with that. And, but it just never sat right with me. There was always something missing, and I just couldn't put my finger on it, but I just let it go because nothing seemed to click, to work. Well, then Charlie Kirk died, and I realized what had been missing. It's that with the election last year and everything going forward, I had a single motive in mind for the longest time, and that was get Trump elected, get our country back on track. And then once he got elected, it was kind of like, let's show what he's doing. Let's make sure we're clearing up the noise, especially in the early days when there was so much going on, so much noise from the mainstream media trying to make him look bad. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going through here, keep weeding through all this nonsense in the media. And we did it. We had a good time. But once Charlie died, I realized that the real mission of this channel, the real desire of this channel, is to completely, utterly destroy the ideologies, the thinking, the lies that have tried to subvert and destroy our country, whether it's communism, socialism, atheism, and I don't mean people peaceful atheism. I mean radical atheists trying to kill religion in general, entitlement, the wokeness, all of it, everything trying to destroy traditional values, traditional American beliefs of liberty and freedom and prosperity for the individuals, the ability to make your own decisions. I want to get rid of all of it while also rebuilding people. And that only starts with faith. I mean, tools are good, but without faith, like Milo said in that clip, without God in our country, we're lost. And so fire is what I believe is happening right now to our nation. I believe there's a spreading fire of revival. I believe there's a spreading fire of awakening going through it. And I know there's a fire in my belly to see it, to see people made whole, families made whole, wallets made whole, finances made whole, and ultimately our country made whole, rebirthed, and better than ever. And so what better than American fire? It hit me today. I was praying all morning, seeking direction because I'd felt in a rut. And when I heard it in my heart, it just was like, that's it. That is the channel. And so we're going to be building it out as we go. The shows won't be that much different. In general, I'll still be covering most of the day-to-day stuff, but this affords me the flexibility and the focus to build out everything else I want to build out, which eventually will be more classes, more content, different directions. But so not much will change for you guys except for the name of the show and some of the branding. But I just had to finally, it was the first time.
It doesn't matter if you...
Whoa, Milo, stop talking. It was the first time that I have felt that I finally nailed what I really want this channel to be. And that's in almost 3 years. So we'll see. But I hope you guys are good with it. I'll probably lose some people at first, and that's okay. Hopefully it opens up gaining more, but again, it's not going to change much, but the focus now is there, and I feel like I finally have the vision for everything I'm creating, everything I'm doing here, that finally lines up for me. So we'll see where it leads, but for now, it's mostly just an outward change for me internally. All right, so hope that explains it. You guys can let me know what you think. If you hate it, if you love it, let me know in the chat. I would love to know your guys' thoughts. And in the meantime, let me do some shout outs, and then we're going to get right to it. We don't have a lot of stories tonight, but we got massive stories tonight. I mean, world-changing stories tonight. And the two big ones, as I spoke out, it's this whole Google YouTube craziness where they admitted they were censoring. So I'm going to be covering that in a second. It's honestly world-changing, and we'll talk about why in a second here. And then the Trump UN speech, which I think is going to go down as one of the most important speeches ever delivered. And we'll talk about why. But Trump lit it on fire. He went to the UN in front of all those nations and basically said, F you guys, we're doing this our way. It was incredible. I can't wait to show the clips. And then I got a couple smaller stories, a couple big ones as well, but they won't take up too much time. They're just impactful. So anyways, let me say let me say hey to some peeps, and then we're going to get started. If you're watching on X, I'm sorry I cannot see your comments, but go ahead and leave them anyways. I'll talk to you. I'll respond later, but please repost, follow. I'd appreciate it. If you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, hit that like, subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you be a part of this channel. I think you might like it. And if you want an interesting take on the day's events every day, if you want the news ahead of the news, my chat will tell you, I think right now I'm trending at 97.3% right on all political predictions. Maybe the math's a little fuzzy there, but it's close. So if you want the news tomorrow, today, you'll want to watch this show. And also, if you want more, the Patreon link is in the description. Join for a free month of all the members' lives and all the Discord access you want. By the way, somebody in the Discord told me today, I need to promote the Discord more because it's awesome. And I agree with them. It is amazing. One of the things that's most amazing about the Discord is not only do we all get along, build some real friendships, have some great discussions, but for those of you who miss my stock days, you'll get more than you bargained for if you get in the Discord. There is a dedicated channel to all the stocks I've ever followed on this channel. Finger, DJT, G-Bucks, GDC, you name it, it's in there. So, and we have some amateur charters who are awesome. They could be professional if they want to, but they have definitely helped me in my trading, saving me money, making a lot of people in the Discord money. And for the price you pay, way cheaper than anything else you will find out there. So I'm not promoting it as just a stock Discord, as just a trading Discord, because that's definitely not what it is. But if you're interested in Finger, DJT, M10, G-Bucks, GDC, all those stocks that are currently trading that we've talked about on this channel, RLAIF, and NRG, GV, I mean, it's all in there. So you might want to hit that link in the description and get your free access and see if it's worth your while. Okay, let's say hey to some peeps. Who's numero uno tonight? Wago Waka, what's up, buddy? Frank Anastasio, you made it, friend. Cassink, Big B, being pro. Stephen Cromer, Wolkovich is in the house. D6, free speech prevails. Kathy, Shogun, what's going on? What's fires your OF account? No. You locked a feld over on Rumble. How you doing, brother? Vidman, what's up? Uncle Andy. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. I'll talk about that in a second, too. Aaron Ambrose, what's up, brother? Kim Wiley, Magic Moon, Alice Fordham, here you are. McGruff, I love it. Thank you. I appreciate those words. Lucid Heart, Troy, man, Magic Moon. Good. Vince Felice, what's up, man? Big B, Pedro Rod, Brett Montgomery. Good to see you guys. I love it. Hey, Yancey, what's up, brother? Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the YouTube news did inspire me even more to kind of change my channel now and just jump on this momentum that I believe hopefully is going to be coming to YouTube. So we'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, I forgot about it. I'm glad it was brought up in the chat. I did forget about one big story today that I didn't have ready. So we'll talk about it just 1 second. But apparently today was supposed to be the rapture. I just love it so much. But apparently on TikTok, YouTube, some other places, it's been trending that somebody did the math and figured out that September 23rd, 2025 was going to be the rapture. And we were all going to be whipped out of here, or at least the Christians were, and blah, blah, blah. The end times are going to start. And guess what? We're all here. Now, if you know somebody who disappeared, please let me know, because I would love to know that I've been wrong this whole time. But I feel pretty confident nobody was raptured today. And I just want to say, for the millionth time, if you guys haven't watched my Bible stuff, go watch it. I did a whole long series on the Bible and I shared it. So it is available on this channel. But anyways, listen, there's two ways to think about the rapture, and this is how I'm going to leave it. okay, for any Christians watching and anybody just Christian curious. A, if you believe in the rapture, Jesus says no one knows the time or the day when it's going to come. If that's how you read the Bible, if that's the end times interpretation you have, as soon as somebody predicts it, you know they're going to be wrong. Okay, so let's just say that. Let's just leave it right there so nobody can ever predict the rapture. Okay, that's number one. Number one. Number two, the way I read the Bible and the way I understand my theology after 25 plus years of studying is I don't believe in a rapture. I don't believe it's biblical. I don't believe that God's coming to whip us out into the sky and disappear us before bad things happen on earth. I don't believe that at all. That's not my theology. My biblical theology is a different understanding that when Jesus finally comes up, we will temporarily meet him in the sky and come back down to the earth. And then Jesus will proceed to wipe out the evil on the earth, and we will rule this earth from there on. And I believe that is a much more accurate biblical theology. I'm not going to go into the details. You'll have to watch my videos for more of that. But either way, ain't going to be a rapture anytime somebody predicts it. So let's just leave it at that. Can we all agree? Are we all in agreement? All right. No rapture today. Sorry, TikTok. And I hope nobody watches that person's videos anymore, because obviously they are horribly, horribly misinformed with terrible theology. So stay away from them. All right. All right. Okay, let's get into the news. All right, guys. So from Jim Jordan today, Rep Jim Jordan was, thank you, Kim Wiley. Jim Jordan today busted it out, and they have been putting pressure on Google. Now, we know that there have been serious censorship from on all kinds of social media, and a lot of it was from the Biden administration, but even started before that when they were busy rigging the 2020 election for Trump, such as censoring the Hunter Biden laptop stories, not allowing people to speak about what was going on, about COVID. I mean, it was awful. And so obviously Elon bought X, released the Twitter files. We learned all about that. Well, now today, Jim Jordan and the Republicans pressuring Google finally got Google to admit it, that they did it, and to backtrack. So let's see what he says. He says, due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. But that is not all. This is awesome. This means channels such as like Praying Medic, Jordan Sather, X22 Report, maybe even Steve Bannon with War Room. Hopefully this means they will let them all come back. Now we will see if they actually follow through, but I'm going to test it tonight, YouTube. I'm testing it tonight because we're going to hit on all these subjects you say you're banning, and we're going to make sure you're holding true to your word. Otherwise, I'm going to call my rep. So, but more than that, let's go through this thread from Jimmy G here. YouTube also admits the Biden admin's censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Interesting. So they've come out and just said that it's actually wrong what happened. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if that's not the Trump effect, I don't know what is. So for all those morons out there, and I'm sorry, they're morons, but there were so many people, Nick Fuentes, Dave Smith, a bunch of others, who basically got to the point where they were like, we regret supporting Trump. It should have just Kamala, nothing would have been different. Well, this one's for you, Brett. That is retarded. That is absolutely a retarded take. And this proves it. This would never have happened if Kamala Harris was president right now. But instead, the Trump effect is we are freeing social media. Now, there's always going to be some stuff social media censors, and that's fine. There are certain things that make sense to censor. Violence, pornography, threats of violence, terrorists trying to, organize. There are some things that should be censored, and I'm all for it. And plus, these are private companies. That makes sense. But as far as discourse, as far as disagreements, as far as political opinions and research, there's no reason to ever censor that unless you're just scared, unless you are peeing in your pants every time somebody brings it up, unless you're weak and pathetic and cowardly. And yes, Google, you are weak, pathetic, and cowardly. YouTube, weak, pathetic, cowardly. You kowtowed to a Biden administration that was pathetic, and you did this, and you've censored us. You've demonetized several of my videos for talking about election stuff, for talking about vaccines. It's weak and cowardly and pathetic. And I hope you learned your lesson, and I hope you're dead scared of Trump busting your ass if you do it again. So they admit Biden admin censorship pressure, unacceptable and wrong. Confirms that the Biden admin wanted Americans censored for speech that did not violate YouTube's policies. Details when YouTube began rolling back its censorship policies on political speech after Judiciary GOP began its investigation. They state that public debate should never come at the expense of relying on authorities. I can't believe Google said that. Can you believe Google said that? That's crazy. Promises to never use third-party fact checkers. Sorry, I don't think Snopes has much of a job available to them anymore. Warns that Europe's censorship laws target American companies that threaten American speech. They throw Europe under the bus. These people are leftists. They love Europe, but not anymore. Not with the Trump effect. And I'm telling you, the Trump effect on the tech industry is overwhelming. He is making these guys play ball. And yeah, they're getting stuff in return. He is loosening up some regulations so they can innovate more. He's letting them do stuff with AI. And honestly, I'm all good with that. I'm good with tech being discovered. I'm good with innovation. I'm good as long as we're not using H-1B visas and illegal immigrants to do it, as long as we're paying Americans to do it. I'm fine with all that. I don't care. Make your wealth in America the right way. That's capitalism. We love that. But they've been doing it the wrong way for far too long and using their power to hurt the people. And if he's cleaning all that up and they get something out of it, hey, I'm okay with that. That's okay. That's America. But the fact they threw Europe on a bus is pretty crazy. Jim continues. Over the past few years, we have uncovered massive scandals relating to big tech censorship. And then he shares the Facebook files, which came out after the Twitter files. During the Biden-Harris years, under White House pressure, YouTube changed its policies to censor political debate on COVID and elections. Today, YouTube admits the censorship pressure from Biden was unacceptable and wrong. Now, to make amends to the people and because of our work, YouTube is rolling back its censorship policies on political speech, including topics such as COVID and elections. So YouTube, I'm guessing now I can say that COVID was not very deadly unless you were obese or already sick. I can say the COVID vaccine was an absolute disaster. I'm guessing I could say all that now. That's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as I say these things. The 2020 election was rigged. Is my channel still on, guys? Is my channel still on? What does that mean? Whether you were established YouTube presence with massive following Dan Bongino or just starting out to express political views there, you will have an opportunity to come back onto the platform if you were censored for engaging in political speech. And here's the actual guideline right here. It says company terminated channels for repeatedly violating community guidelines on election integrity. Today, the community guidelines allow for a wider range of content regarding COVID-19 elections integrity, reflecting companies' commitment to free expression. Will provide opportunity for creators to rejoin if they were terminated. This is another victory in the fight against censorship. In August 2024, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg wrote the committee a letter admitting Biden admin pressured Facebook to censor. Facebook censored Americans. Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. As Meta admitted it was wrong, others in big tech reluctant to go on the record. Now Google is acknowledging for the first time it too faced censorship pressure from the Biden admin, and that pressure was unacceptable and wrong. But that's not all. YouTube is making changes to its platform to prevent future censorship. They're committing to the American people that it will never use outside so-called fact checkers to censor speech. No more telling Americans what to believe and not to believe. This is incredible, guys. This is amazing. You better believe, too, they did not like the PR they were constantly getting compared to Rumble. Because even though Rumble's nowhere close to YouTube, I mean, we're talking it's light years away. And I love me some Rumble. Rumble, I love you. I love you guys over there. But Rumble sucks. Rumble is incredible. I'm using its platform right now for its stream, so that's gotten much better. I greatly appreciate that. I love that Rumble stands for free speech. I love some of the shows on Rumble. All of that is great. It is terrible if you are a new creator. They do nothing to help you get found. I got 5 people watching on Rumble right now. That's how bad it is. So anyways, just wild stuff. So YouTube committing to American people will never use fact checkers. Oh, I already said that. YouTube's going to try out community notes. Elon Musk ahead of the curve, Meta followed suit, now YouTube. So they're going to have people add notes to stuff, which is going to be fun, man. I'm going to be fact checking leftist channels all day. That's going to be a new hobby of mine while I listen to their nonsense. But we're going to be able to fact check channels now instead of their independent fact checkers, which is awesome. And then finally, YouTube confirms Europe is targeting American speech and innovation, admits European social media laws place a disproportionate regulatory burden on American companies. In other words, YouTube's saying, we're effing tired of this. They went too far. Like, we are a bunch of leftists over here, but guess what? We're also trying to run a business. And this stuff sucks. YouTube warns us that Europe could force companies to remove lawful social media content, could risk freedom of expression within and outside the EU. So Europe's trying to censor us on the outside. Good luck with that. I mean, you know what? I've had some UK viewers, and love you guys if you're watching, if you watch this later, from Scotland, from England. I mean, Ireland, I've had a couple. Like, I love you guys, and I truly hope my channel doesn't get censored from you guys. That would suck. That would suck. If you can follow me on Rumble, go watch over there if you can. But for Americans, guys, I think we're going to be safe here. And my plan to slowly move away from YouTube no longer has to happen, which I got to say is great. Again, I've been trying to grow on Rumble. It's just not happening. It's very slow. Whereas on YouTube, I've still, even with demonetization and shadow banning, I've been managing to grow faster than on Rumble. And that's, I mean, it's been a crawl. It's been very slow. I'm hoping, hey, YouTube, lift that shadow ban on me, please. Because I know I'm shadow banned. I grew like crazy fast my first year and a half, and then it just died once I switched to politics. So, and not right away. My biggest videos are political videos that broke through. My election video, my prediction of the election when I covered Trump, the sweep of the House. Those are my biggest videos ever. So I know the politics can break through. I know the politics are not like why people aren't watching. I know it's a shadow ban, and the other analytics behind the scenes prove it. So YouTube, I'm calling for you to lift my shadow ban, actually let my channel finally get out there. That would be really nice of you. But even with a shadow ban, I've been growing a little bit faster here on YouTube. So with this in effect, I will be staying 100% on YouTube now. I will still be streaming on Rumble and X as well. I love the platforms. I love the opportunity to grow. But as it stands, if this is now how it's going to be, YouTube is now the best place for me to be. And there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the best place to reach people, and it is the best technological platform. They just do things the best, and that, you know, it's just the way it is. So again, nothing will change. I'll still be everywhere else, but I will no longer be pushing people over to Rumble. Okay. And as for the membership, which I did completely change, I asked people to leave the YouTube membership because I was making that transition, go to Patreon. as far as the membership is concerned, I will continue to ask you to join on Patreon instead of YouTube. If you do want to join on YouTube, that's fine. I understand it, but you will only get the members' lives. You will not get Discord access. Okay. So members on YouTube, you're welcome to start joining here again. If that's all you want is the members' lives, awesome. I'm encouraging again. You can be back on. That's great. But as far as the Discord, the only way to access that will be through the Patreon link, which you can join for free for a month in the description. But guys, this is world-shaking news, and let's talk about why. All right, so we've gone through the story. I told you how it personally affects me, but what's up, Ryan? Good to see you, buddy. Let's talk about why this is just absolutely massive. Okay, it's massive because since 2019-ish, and even before that, but it really ramped up the end of 2019 and really went to overdrive in 2020. Conservatives, and I don't mean milquetoast conservatives, neocon types, old school Republican types. They're everywhere. They love them because they're all part of the Uniparty. I mean, true blue MAGA, America First conservatives have been censored. We've been either completely censored or shadow banned almost everywhere that matters the most. We've been able to find places like Rumble, Odyssey, but they just don't have the same reach and viewership. Honestly, I feel a little bad for Rumble today because this is terrible news for their business model. Because now people just will not be incentivized to go over to Rumble as much. But on the flip side of that, maybe it'll encourage Rumble to improve their algorithm. I hope they do. Chris Pavlowski, please improve your stuff. I know you can do it. Make it better for, I'll make Rumble my number one if you can improve the reach. But having said that, YouTube is still the best. And now if conservatives can start getting on here and actually speaking our whole truth, not self-censoring, not being afraid of shadow bans or demonetization, if we can actually get out there again, guys, this changes the landscape. Because as much as I love X, and X is amazing, I'll still be on X all the time. It's still the best place to go for the breaking news as it happens. Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason I use it for 90% of my research. Okay. There's a reason for that. It's the best. There's no place like it for straight information. But if you want to reach people, the number one place on the internet is YouTube. TikTok doesn't come close. TikTok's huge. It's trendy. It doesn't come close. Facebook doesn't come close. And Facebook has the most users. Doesn't matter. Everybody is on YouTube all the stinking time. Do you know that YouTube is now the second largest search engine by itself after Google? That's how big a deal YouTube is. People just go to YouTube, type in what they want to learn, type in what they want to find, and go down the rabbit hole. Well, now that rabbit hole includes America First, conservatives again, people willing to tell the truth, people willing to expose what's really going on. And that's massive. This means people can now accidentally fall into it again. Because to go on Rumble or to go digging on X, even though X has really changed the game, you still have to go purposely on it. But now on YouTube, people can accidentally fall into truth, can accidentally fall into opposing opinions. So this changes the game. This absolutely changes the game. YouTube is the number one site for media, period, full stop, in the world, period, full stop. There's just nothing like it. So if Google is truly changing this, it is over. Like this is going to change the game. This is going to speed up the awakening, speed up the revival. And just like my title now, it says the American Fire, it speeds it up. This is absolutely incredible. And this doesn't happen if Trump is not elected. Guys, This is such an incredible win. There's no way to even quantify it in numbers. This is massive. This is nuclear bomb type win. We just Nagasaki'd the crap out of the left by getting YouTube back. That's how big this is. If the Charlie Kirk Memorial was Hiroshima, this right here, even though this isn't going to be the biggest news story, it's behind the scenes. This is Nagasaki. This is atomic bomb number 2. And unlike the Japanese, they're not going to surrender, the left. But I'm telling you right now, they are reeling. So just massive news, very exciting. And I'm excited to see what this means for me, for this channel, for the movement in general. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So, all right, let me catch up on some comments real quick before we go to the next major story. By the way, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Hit that like. Bloop, blip, blip, blip. Just 1 second right there. All righty, guys. Let me see here. Pedro Ron says it's a trap. It's a trap. No, I really don't think it is. I really don't think it is, but I think this is legit, and I think it's because they're terrified of the penalties of the Biden administration. Guys, this is a proof that we're winning the culture war, and I think we've already won it. But this is a proof that win is spreading. It's like we won it, and now we're taking territory. So the culture war, that I've told you guys over and over again, that was the most important thing for us to win, and we won. And now it's just spreading because Trump and the administration and us and MAGA refuse to take our foot off the gas. And that is why the win is going to keep spreading. D6 says Biden's finally expendable for the left 100%. They can't stand him. So is Kamala, by the way. Her favorability is plunging right now. D6 says they're trying to take down Rumble. I honestly don't think they're that afraid of Rumble because it hasn't impacted them financially at all. But I do think that they see the future, and they can't be in the non-free speech business. They just can't. Toe Cramp's trying to warn me. Don't find out the hard way. Listen, man, I'm not afraid. I'll push it. I'll see what happens. Brett Montgomery says Kamala should have named her book "If I Did It" and stolen the name from OJ. She stole everything. Now that would be funny. Cass Singh says you can see me in a seat in a White House presser. Whoa. Is that a prophetic word? Man, that would be wild. Well, we'll see what happens. That would be crazy. Alan Krantz, good to see you, brother. Mike Mishler, what's up? XRQ. So you can say murder, suicide, pedophile without self-censoring? I think I just did. KJB says Trump and the admin have been compromised. Listen, man, no blackpilling on my channel. If you're going to say something like that, bring receipts. There are none. I know it for a fact, but you can try. But, don't just blow up my channel with nonsense. What's up, Jeremy Bodo? What's up, Donald Bodio, brother? Hit the likes, says Barb Swallis. Not Terry says YouTube will make more money off it. They see everybody's figuring it out. They don't care about free speech. I didn't say they cared about free speech. That's not what I said at all. But what they do care about is they care about the Trump admin making it harder for them to wheel and deal. The Trump admin going after Google for monopoly. They have all kinds of issues and fear of what the Trump administration will do to punish them. And on top of that, yes, they'll make more money. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care if their incentive is wrong. That doesn't matter to me at all. Because if you make a great tool, listen, do you care who built your car? Do you care if a leftist built your car as long as it works well? No, you don't care. I don't care. YouTube is a tool. And I don't care who made it. I'm not supporting YouTube. I'm not giving them anything. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing I was already doing. I'll just be more outspoken. That's it. Nothing changes. But the tool just got better. And if the tool got better, I'm all in favor of it. I don't care why it got better because, you know, unless it was because they're doing something horrific behind the scenes. But that's not what we're talking about here. This is just a text platform that lifted restrictions. So it doesn't matter why they're doing it. If they're doing it for greed, oh well, it helps me. If they're doing it for to stay out of trouble, oh well, it helps me. It helps our movement. It helps the spread of Christianity. It helps defeat wokeness. I mean, it's a good thing no matter why they're doing it. So who cares? You know, make retard great. Not Terry says he agrees. Disappointed. Love it, Terry. Glad we agree. Or not Terry. Sorry, you're obviously not Terry. Love it, brother. Glad we agree. You know, I can't get tone from your comments, just so you know. So I always speak a little brash. I'm always a little strong. And you guys just let me know if we're tracking or not. Okay? That's how it's going to be. You know, unless I already know you, then you get the benefit of the doubt. But not Terry. I don't think we've gone back and forth enough for me to know you. So anyways, next big story. Hit that like and subscribe, folks. Next big story. Let's go. Trump. Blump. Trump just trumped the UN. He blew them out. Guys, if you did not see this speech, which you probably didn't, because it's only nerds like me who listen to the entire thing of this. And that's okay. Nerds and people who have all day at home, you know, nothing better to do. But I listened to this whole speech. Absolutely mind-blowing, incredible. This, you know, traditionally, presidents go to the UN and they do the statesman thing. We're all in this together as a world. You know, we're going to, like, the international community should work together more. The United States, blah, 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 blah. For years, we've known the UN takes advantage of the U.S., goes out there and smears the U.S., holds us accountable to nonsense, talks behind our back. Just, they are awful. The UN sucks. In its original idea, there might have been some goodness to it, but it's all gone. It's a pathetic institution of a bunch of nations with an excuse to just try to feel like they're equal to us. They're not. And Trump let them know it today. Trump let them know that we're not playing their games anymore. We're not going to get along with you guys anymore. You guys are stupid. You're ruining your countries. You're destroying things for your people. And this is what America's going to do. And that's it. And that's how it's going to be. Take it or leave it. But we don't need you guys anymore. In fact, you're worse than if we didn't have you. It's incredible. And we're going to go through some of the best clips here. So here's MJ Truth sharing, damn, in front of the entire UN Assembly. President Trump craps all over him, saying none of them ever did jack shit to stop any wars. The only thing he says he got from the United Nations is a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. By the way, on the way up, the teleprompter in the UN building, it just stopped. It just stopped while him and Melania were heading up the escalator. It's A, that's incredibly disrespectful. B, it's also kind of dangerous. If somebody wanted to, you know, had a plan, had a setup to go after him. Now security is probably pretty crazy at that place, but just saying, they stop the president in his tracks on an escalator where he's vulnerable. I mean, that's bad news. So really messed up. It's obvious the UN was messing with him in a really disrespectful, messed up way. And then he does a speech, and for the first 10 minutes, the teleprompter doesn't work. So not only did we get Trump already going in about to light them on fire, he got more pissed off. And then he got to riff for the first 10 minutes. So, and by the way, his speech was 15 minutes scheduled. It went on for over 45 minutes. That's how much he lit into them. So let's go through it. I'm going to share quite a few clips tonight, and we'll watch a clip. I'll stop and we'll talk about it. But anyways, it's just too good. I have to share these things. So here we go. Clip number 1.
Unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, two of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them.
Boom.
And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. So basically Trump right there, he's basically calling
unendable
them out,
wars. They
saying
said
that they basically wanted these wars. I mean, that's basically what he's saying. When you call them out and you say, you guys did nothing to stop these wars. I stopped them all by coming in office. 7 wars. Came in, did my stuff. They ended, over. You guys did nothing. You offered no support, and you didn't even call me to congratulate me. He's basically calling the UN warmongers. That's basically what he's saying. All of you guys, you wanted this to happen. I get it. He's telling the world this. He's putting the world, like, everybody who's paying attention is hearing now that Trump is like, we're acting on our own. And not only are we acting on our own, we're cleaning up the entire world without your help. We're the United Nations. You're supposed to be a part of us. You're supposed to be the peacekeepers. The whole reason we do this is so there's peace on earth. So nations are talking together and working together to make sure there's peace and prosperity worldwide. You guys didn't do anything. I cleaned up 7 wars. Not even a phone call. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable stuff. Just unbelievable stuff. The fact that the way he said it too. I mean, it's incredible. This is the kind of thing that I guarantee you they're sitting there in shock. Like, I can't believe he's saying this. This is like, we're supposed to talk about this behind closed doors. This is not something you put on blast. And Trump just walking in, strutting like the gunman, like the cowboy. This comes in, knows he owns these people. No, they can't do anything to him. I mean, guys, this is the kind of thing where when people are like, Trump is owned, Trump is one of them. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is so much proof that he's not. Because this isn't just playing a role. You can't walk in to the freaking UN and tell them off to their faces. There's a reason no other president's ever done it. You can't tell me Trump is deep state. You can't tell me Trump's controlled by the globalists or controlled by Israel. It's nonsense. Because when Trump walks into this building and stares at all the faces, all these diplomats and leaders of other nations across the world, a bunch of them, the globalists, a bunch of them all in on it. That's why all this is happening. That's why they won't call about the wars. And he says, for the whole world to hear, where everybody can watch this on YouTube, Rumble, on the air, probably on C-SPAN. Everybody can watch this. Millions of people can see this. Millions of people will see the clips. And he goes out there and says, you guys do nothing about war. I did it all, and you couldn't even say thank you. That's putting them on blast. That's disrespecting them in front of the whole world. It's separating himself in front of the whole world. There's just no way this guy can be part of them. It's impossible, because what he just did is delegitimized every other nation in the world, major nation in the world. He just delegitimized them. And what have we been doing for the last 50 years? We've been legitimizing them. We've been talking about how Europe is the leader in globalization and in climate control. China is the leader in the world economy. We're lionizing these nations. We've been lifting them up. We talk about them as if they're all better than us. That's how you're supposed to talk about these other nations. That's the game. You make it sound, because it's a psyop to convince us all that we suck. And Trump just went in there and said, you guys are awful. You guys suck. We are the best. We're the only ones who care about people. And screw you guys. We're not playing your game anymore. There is no way this guy is one of them. There is no way. This is some of the greatest proof you've ever seen. And it gets better. It gets better. Here's another clip. This one's 4 minutes, but it's really good. it's really good. I'm loving this stuff so much. It's so fun. This is a fun one because I hate the UN.
They were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, two of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an...
Sorry, guys, that's the wrong clip. I just realized. My bad. My bad.
We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now, and to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country, and now they're being ruined. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before, with different customs, religions, with different everything. Where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons, they should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and people that are struggling and truly compassionate, answers will be given. We have to solve the problem, and we have to solve it in their countries, not create new problems in our countries. And we are very helpful to a lot of countries that are just not able to send their people anymore. They used to send them to us in caravans of 25,000, 30,000 people each. These massive caravans of people pouring into our country, totally unchecked and unvetted. But not anymore. According to the Council of Europe, in 2024, almost 50% of inmates in German prisons were foreign nationals or migrants. In Austria, the number was 53% of the people in prisons were from places that weren't from where they are now. In Greece, the number was 54%, and in Switzerland, beautiful Switzerland, 72% of the people in prisons are from outside of Switzerland. When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repaid kindness, and that's what they did, they repaid kindness with crime. It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. In America, we've taken bold action to swiftly shut down uncontrolled migration. Once we started detaining and deporting everyone who crossed the border.
So they're just sitting there shell-shocked. They cannot believe what they're hearing. Just, your countries are going to hell. He lays into them with the real, like, the truths, man, the details. I mean, they are just shell-shocked. It's incredible to see. And we've never seen anything like this before. Anything like this. So I'm sorry, I got a couple more. We got to go through these because they're so powerful. And it's every single one, he lays into them on something just major. I mean, right there, these countries are crazy with their unchecked immigration. We've been talking about it. I've told you guys how the rapes in UK have gone up like 8,000% or something insane like that since 2000. It's just horrific. I mean, these poor girls, it's especially teenage girls in the UK getting assaulted. It's the most disgusting thing, and they don't care. They don't care. You can't say anything on social media about it either. You can't even complain about it if your daughter gets attacked or you get put in prison. There's no free speech anymore. It's disgusting. And so Trump getting out there and also saying the stats, people hear those stats, their minds are going to be blown. I guarantee you most people have never heard those before. And this is a UN speech. UN speech. I bet this was broadcast in a lot of other countries. And in those other countries, I guarantee you, they didn't hear this before. This is how you wake people up. This is how you maybe start stirring other countries. And what we're saying is we are fixing these problems. We've fixed our unchecked immigration. That's incredible. And he's letting the people know in other countries that they can fix it too, just by saying we did it. Unbelievable stuff. Here's another one. And on this one, he's going after the climate scam, which just tickles me to death. I love every time Trump or anybody goes after the climate stuff.
But we're not letting this happen in America. In 1982, the executive director of the United Nations Environmental Program predicted that by the year 2000, climate change would cause a global catastrophe. He said that it will be irreversible, as any nuclear holocaust would be. This is what they said at the United Nations. What happened? Here we are. Another UN official stated in 1989 that within a decade, entire nations could be wiped off the map by global warming. Not happening. You know, it used to be global cooling. If you look back,
Not happening. He's right.
years ago in the
Global
1920s and the 1930s, they said global cooling will kill the world.
That's exactly right.
We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world. But then it started getting cooler, so now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail. And I'm really good at predicting things, you know. They actually said during the campaign they had a hat, the best-selling hat. Trump was right about everything. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way, but it's true. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail. I'm the president of the United States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage.
Wow. Wow. That is a powerful statement. You're doing it to be politically correct, and yet you're destroying your heritage. I mean, this is incredible stuff, guys. I mean, his face there, too. You could see the intensity in his eyes, the anger. And I think I legitimately watching this, Trump is angry. He's angry because he knows how much has been stolen from the world, but stolen from the people of these countries, stolen from America because of climate change and the lie that it is, the huge lie. And then he walked it down. I guarantee you, again, just like I said on the other thing, there are people who've never heard this before. Never heard about global cooling. Never knew that was a thing before. Never knew we've been down this road before. And he calls them out on their predictions and how wrong they were. It's unfreaking believable. I mean, again, this is just, to me, absolute concrete evidence that he's not part of it, because the global warming scam, guys, the climate change scam is one of their biggest money makers. Trillions and trillions of dollars. It's also how they keep people poor. They keep us down because we're not allowed to prosper because, it could hurt the climate. That's what they do. It's a lie. It's the biggest propaganda psyop we've ever seen. And it's stolen so much from us because it stops us from innovating, from using good energy, cheap energy, which hurts our lifestyles, and it stops us from moving forward. It steals, and it's so frustrating. And if to take on climate change and destroy it in front of the world like this, that is something he would never be permitted to do if he was a globalist. It's just not possible. So again, all the people who watch my show who are like, Trump's one of them, it's such stupid nonsense. All the people on X who like to throw that crap around. It's so stupid. It is such a stupid argument. There is nothing to support that. In this speech, just completely blows it away. It just crushes it. He goes on, and I'm not going to play this clip, but here's a quote from it. Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. So basically right here, he's saying that the UN there's no reason for the UN to exist anymore except to make things worse. Again, another powerful statement. With uncontrolled migration, your countries are being ruined. Whoa. Just lost that right there. The UN is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to illegal immigrants coming into the United States. Can you believe that? So basically what Trump just did is he labeled the UN as an enemy of the United States. This is major. It's absolutely major. UN provides food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens on their way to infiltrate our southern border. Can you believe that? Just crazy stuff. Again, I'm just so floored by how he called them out here. It's unbelievable. Oops, that was an accident. And then he ends with this, and I'm going to play this because this one's just, not that one. This one right here. This is just dear to my heart, but Trump is again putting faith first. And after Charlie's memorial service, this is just awesome.
Our commitment, values, and those values really that we hold so dear together. Let us defend free speech and free expression. Let us protect religious liberty, including for the most persecuted religion on the planet today. It's called Christianity. And let us safeguard our sovereignty and cherish qualities that have made each of our nations so special, incredible, and extraordinary. Showing our commitment.
So just awesome to see there. I mean, calling Christianity just like it is the most persecuted religion in the world. And this is something that the globalists hate. They love to promote Islam and the issues in Islam and Islamophobia, and they love to talk about anti-Semitism. They love to talk about this stuff, and they love to use it, especially with Islam, as an excuse to let those migrants just flood their countries because it's humanitarian, because Islamophobia is so bad. But Trump sets the record straight. The most persecuted religion in the world is Christianity. And honestly, guys, it's not close. If you look at the facts, Christians are martyred. We don't face it much in America other than Charlie Kirk recently. Christians are slaughtered in other countries. African countries, Middle Eastern countries, Asian countries, slaughtered. I see news stories almost daily. It's horrifying. It really is. And the UN never says a thing because they hate Christianity. Because globalists, communists, whatever you want to call them, they hate Christianity because it's the greatest threat to them. And yet, despite all the pressure and everything, Christianity thrives and keeps growing, just like it's exploding in our country again, and will continue to, thanks to Charlie Kirk, thanks to President Trump. We are having an explosion here. And I'm going to say, for the first time in my life, guys, America is going to be a proud Christian country, even at the leadership level. We're going to run this place, and we're going to make it the best country the world's ever seen. And we're going to force other nations. Trump right now putting on blast the other nations. We're going to force the other nations to get in line. They're going to have to shape up, and their people are going to want it because they're going to see how well we're doing. So again, Trump's speech, I highly recommend, if you got the time, to watch the whole 45 minutes. There's other good stuff in there. I played some of what I thought were the highlights, but there's more good stuff in there. It's great the whole way through. He just lays into them minute after minute. It's so good. It's so good. So, all right, I got a few quick news stories we're going to run through here in a minute. We're going to popcorn some stories, but first I'm going to keep up with you guys on the chat. We've fallen behind a little bit, so I want to catch up with the chat. And by the way, I'm going to remind you, please like, subscribe, hit those buttons, guys. Please support the channel, repost if you're on X. I greatly appreciate it. And join the Discord/members if you want for a free month. Just click that link in the description. Get your free month. All the members lives, which by the way, there'll be a members only live tomorrow night. All the members lives for free. All the past members lives you can watch if you want and get into the Discord. Great stuff. All right, let's see what everybody was saying about this. Nick Major says like Trump is talking to dead people. They were just so shocked. They didn't know what to do. Johnny Strayhorn says, keep it coming. Couldn't be enjoying this more. Amen to that. Cromer says, teach a class for world leaders. I love it. Dirty Red says, you're a legend already. Well, thank you. I don't know. Are you talking to me or Trump? Either way, that's a great compliment. Thank you. Let's see. Togramp. Where we go one, we go all gangster AF. I know. He is super gangster. Just walking into their house and lighting them up like that is incredible. The backgrounds are appalling. They really are. Looks like sick. You know what it looks like? It looks like a bad interpretation of the Wizard of Oz. That's what it looks like. You know, the green marble. Hypnosis is strong. Matthew Parker says the best, most truthful speech I've ever heard from a president. Man, it's definitely up there, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you might be right on that, Matthew. It definitely is the most truthful, honest speech ever spoken by a president in to other countries. I'll say that. That is, I don't think there's any question about it. Mammoth balls, that's right. Tograph says the levels of winning are astounding. Shogun, bunch of countries are so screwed letting illegal immigrant. It's sickening. It really is. Trump was very confident today, and he was very well spoken. There was no mumbling. He just, not that he mumbles, but he kind of like, what does he call it? He kind of goes circular sometimes. He didn't do that today. It was just like lights on. He knew what he wanted to say. He knew he wanted to light them up, and you could feel the passion. This was not just run of the road. He wasn't tired. You could tell he was rested, and he just lit them up. And I think he's been waiting for this one. The climate changes every season. That's right. B. Dirty Red says God is keeping the books. He knows everything. Amen. FGCV. No, that was Trump from earlier, but you should go watch it. You should go watch it. Just type in a Trump UN speech. You'll find it. D6 says, I'm not tired of winning. I won't even be tired when the markets are fake. Amen to that. How did other countries report it, says Magic Moon. I wish I knew. Being that it's a UN speech, I would imagine that several countries had access to broadcast it so people could watch probably the whole event, of which Trump is a part. But I wouldn't be surprised if at least on their networks they cut it off when he was speaking. That would not shock me at all. If they played the whole thing, holy cow. They better watch out because there's a lot of people going to find out stuff they didn't know before in these countries where they really keep a tight lip on truth. All right, let's go through. This is the popcorn news. Got a few other stories that'll be quick, but important. Yeah, they picked the wrong day to prank up, says Pat. That's very true. All right, this is a pretty crazy story right here. Per Homeland Security, today, the Secret Service announced the dismantling of a network of electronic devices located within 35 miles of the UN General Assembly, used to carry out a wide range of telecommunications attacks. The potential for disruption to our country's telecommunications posed by this network of devices cannot be overstated. U.S. Secret Service protective missions all about prevention. This investigation makes it clear to potential bad actors that imminent threats to our protectees will be immediately investigated, tracked down, and dismantled. This is crazy. So there was a network of electronic devices within 35 miles of the UN building carrying out a wide range of telecommunications attacks. Why do you think they'd want that? Where people are speaking to the world, they're probably messing with it, not wanting stuff to get out, changing things for people to see. I mean, that's wild. That's wild. So, again, we never would have heard this stuff if Kamala was in power, because this is what they were doing. This is how they control things. This is how they mess and censor and all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is crazy, guys. And we busted them. So good job, Secret Service. Yeah, it creates chaos, says Shogun. Absolutely. And busted. So huge win right there by the Secret Service. But again, like, how many more of these things are going to keep happening, and we're going to keep seeing? It's just going to keep coming up. Dirty Red plug-in XRP. Love it, man. I'm an XRP fan. We have an XRP channel in our Discord, so I don't mind XRP talk as long as you're being respectful. And Dirty Red, I know you. Okay, this is awesome. Something good that actually came out of this horrific killing in North Carolina. And it's that the North Carolina legislature passed called Arena's Law to end cashless bail, preventing release of violent offenders and closing loopholes after her death. And it was done with a veto-proof majority. I don't know if you guys know this, but my pathetic state of North Carolina, where I live, we decided to vote in a Democrat governor, despite the fact that we voted for Trump by like 5 points almost. We have a Republican legislature that's so stacked they can do veto-proof majorities, and yet somehow the people here voted for a Democratic governor. I don't understand it. I don't pretend to understand it. Okay. Unless it's true, North Carolina is pretty racist because the Republican was black. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. I don't know. But so you tell me how it makes sense. But anyways, this is going to keep happening across the nation. I believe it. Get rid of this cashless bail. Stop what these corrupt DAs are doing. This poor girl killed by a monster who'd been released 14 times after being arrested. He killed her. It's horrific. We've already talked about it, but this is at least something good to come out of it. And of course, some moron Democrat says he's introducing a legislative amendment to ban the use of deceased crime victims' name, age, likeness, or image in political ads without the consent of their family. So what he's doing, this Democrat, is saying, I know that this death can be used as an ad to destroy Democrats in the next election. Destroy them. And I'm going to pass a law so hopefully we can stop you guys from showing what happened to people because of our policies. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. Democrats, I'm sorry, but like all the ones in power are just the worst people. And this is just another job where you cannot make unity with the left. I mean, because not only are they okay with people getting killed, murdered, stolen from, and raped because of these terrible people being let loose, but then they're trying to pass laws to cover it up. It's sick. They don't care about anything but power. And honestly, this guy, obviously, I mean, he's a Muslim, so there you go. Not that all Muslims are bad. I've had Muslim watchers that have been great. But there's a lot of you guys who are on the left and are terrible. A lot more than Christians, even though we have some Christians who are over there too. But disgusting, just absolutely disgusting. Obviously, he doesn't care about America. This guy is probably some multicultural jerk who just he's all about the destruction of America. So anyways, that's the kind of thing. But this is just revealing. Thankfully, the Democrats in the legislature have no power in North Carolina, so this will not pass. But it just shows you how audacious and disgusting they are. Now, this is a big one. So Ryan Ruth, the guy caught on Trump's golf course to try and kill him, today was convicted on all counts. He won't be sentenced till December, but that means he could get life in prison, as he well should. Life in prison without possibility of parole. That's what we're hoping for. The guy freaked out so bad after getting his well, not his sentence, but his, what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyways, his conviction, stabbed himself in the neck, grabbed a pen right after finding it out and started stabbing himself in the neck trying to kill himself. That is a psychopath and just crazy. Apparently his daughter ran out and screaming from the hall after hearing it. It's a wild story. You feel bad for his family, but this guy was obviously radicalized, brainwashed. Who knows? Maybe he's MK Ultra or something, but just insane. Just absolutely insane. Verdict. Thank you, Stephen Cromer. I don't know why that word wouldn't come to my head. Sometimes I talk so much. You know, this is why I'm not Rush Limbaugh. Rush never made a mistake. Although Rush got breaks. He got commercial breaks to catch his breath. But, you know, when I'm talking here for an hour, hour and a half straight, sometimes a little word escapes my mouth, escapes my brain. Sorry, guys. Apologize for my mistakes. You guys can take it out of my paycheck. Anyways. So this is great news that he's convicted. Excellent news on all counts. Hopefully the sentencing is harsh. That's what we're praying for next. But again, the dude freaked out, tried to kill himself with a pen. Now that's a wild story. You know what's interesting? I just thought about this. 2 nights ago, I showed my daughter and my oldest daughter, she's 15. She's gotten into thrillers, you know. So I let her watch ones that aren't like gross, you know, not hardcore R-rated ones. But so she loves like PG-13 thrillers. And so I showed her the other night Red Eye, directed by Wes Craven, starring what's her face from The Notebook, Rachel McAdams, and Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy. Great movie. And anyways, quick thriller. But in that movie, she stabs him in the throat with a pen. You can't make this up. Apparently I saw I saw the prophetic foretelling of what Brandon Ruth was about to do. But yeah, she stabs him in the throat with a pen and into his windpipe. He lives. He just can't talk. It's wild. It's a great movie though. I highly recommend it. It's on Hulu, I think. But anyways, there's my shameless plug of Hulu. But yeah, this is what this guy did to himself today. So it's pretty crazy. But it just shows you how psychopathic this people were saying. Goodwill Trading, happy 41st birthday, my friend. Good for you, bro. You're awesome. My 42nd birthday is in 2 weeks. So, and my buddy, my best friend in the whole world, Crypto Cruz. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but he turned 41 2 days ago. So happy birthday to him. I should have called him out then. All right, here's a fun one. Jerome Powell today had a speech and admits President Trump's tariffs are not a big factor in consumer inflation. Chalk it up, another win. Trump is right again. Where's my hat? I got to get that hat. Trump's right about everything. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. So good. So even Jerome Powell's now saying it. So guys, if you have some idiot leftists that's still saying tariffs cause inflation, you now get to refer them to the Federal Reserve chairman, who is kind of like the guy for economics in our country and monetary policy, the inflation expert in America, the guy who's been kind of going back and forth with Trump. So he's not a Trump guy. The left loves him for this. And now he just came out and said, Trump, actually the tariffs aren't inflationary. He admitted that tariff revenue is surging and consumers are not absorbing much of the tariff costs. Pretty crazy. So that's a huge win right there. And speaking of huge wins, we're just winning like crazy right now. So here is the areas right now where people trust MAGA. I'm just calling it MAGA now because that's what the Republican Party is. I don't like being called a Republican, but that's what this is. So the MAGA, plus 20 crime, plus 18 immigration, plus 12 foreign conflicts, plus 10 economy, plus 6 on corruption. That's pretty amazing that the American people now say we're ahead on corruption. The American people trust us more on gun control, which is also amazing. It shows that their narratives are falling apart quickly, and also says we are less politically extreme, which is incredible considering that Trump is the president and everybody's labeling him extreme all the time. All they won on was environment, which who cares? Climate change. Okay, fine. You can have that one. Okay. Women's rights, which just means abortion. Healthcare, because they want it free for everybody. And respect for democracy, which is so stupid. But they only have a +2 there. So, and I'll say it. They're right. They have more respect for democracy. We have more respect for republic, which is what our nation actually is. So, anyways, let me catch up with you guys here. The inflation expert says ficus. Same guy who says transitory when inflation went to 9%. Exactly, that guy. I didn't say he's really an inflation expert. I said they all believe he is an inflation expert. I was being facetious. So please do not think that I believe Jerome Powell's an inflation expert, because I truly do not. Uncle Andy says, so all these economic experts are wrong all the time, just like every other expert. Just like the healthcare experts were wrong about COVID, the economic experts are wrong about tariffs. I mean, the experts, the ruling class, the people who have these college degrees, especially the graduate degrees, they're all idiots. I mean, obviously not all of them. I'm being hyperbolic, but they're all idiots. I'll say it again. Sorry if you have a doctorate. I obviously don't mean you if you're watching this show, but the point is that these people, the majority of them, they're not smarter for their degrees. They're just more indoctrinated. They stayed in the system longer. They trust the system more. They learned the beats more. They got their A's on their tests because they memorized like little automatons. Yes, you're right. Keynesian economics are the way. Tariffs are inflationary. COVID is deadly. They're a bunch of automatons. They're NPCs. They can't think for themselves. At this point, if I hear somebody has a graduate degree, I honestly, my first instinct is that they're an idiot. That's my first instinct. And I'm somebody who's highly educated, but I don't have degrees. I don't. I have a certificate of completion for a ministry school. I finished 6 months short of my degree in college because Sally Mae screwed me on my final 6-month loan. But you can be highly, highly educated and be a complete moron, and you can be completely undocumented as far as your education is concerned, and yet be a genius. So, I'm at the point where I'm like, the less time you spent in the school system, the smarter you are at this point. That's how I think about it. And it's shown like the number one factor differentiating right now the left and the right. It's not race. It's no longer race. Trump changed that. It's no longer sex. Most white women vote Republican. No, it is college degree. College degree is the number one indicator that you are voting blue. Voting for men to be in women's bathrooms, voting for men to play women's sports, voting for babies to be aborted up to the 9th month, or actually up to the day of birth, to be destroyed and killed, voting for nonstop wars, voting for nonstop taxation, voting for nonstop censorship, nonstop regulation. That's who's voting for it. Voting for nonstop illegal immigration. That's all the left stands for now. Chaos, confusion, and insanity. And it's the most educated people. The educated people got their doctorates. It's those people voting to ruin our country at every freaking opportunity. So I'm sorry. If my kids, I'm keeping them out of college as long as I can. And if they go, it'll be when they're older and have already figured out, they're set in their ways. And that's just how it's going to be. I'm sorry, because these indoctrination factories just can't. It's despicable. It's despicable. But you can just see, like, the people are waking up, though. And that's very, very encouraging. All right, I had one other thing I think came up late. I want to see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here we go. All right, so Kimmel came on tonight. I didn't see it yet. We'll watch it late. I'll watch it later. Apparently he cried and apologized or something like that. I don't care. But President Trump sends a veiled threat to ABC after they lied to him about Jimmy Kimmel being canceled. He's yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This sounds more lucrative. Here's his exact words. I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. White House was told by ABC his show is canceled. Something happened between then and now because the audience is gone. His talent's never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He's another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal contribution. True bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So this is going to ramp up. And exciting stuff. I love it. All right, guys, on that note, please like and subscribe before you go. Hit that share button, that repost on X, please. Share it with your friends if you want, just, hey, tell them I watch this channel. Tell them this guy's a little crazy, but I like him because he goes through the news and he tells me what's going on, and he's been right ever since he went to politics. Don't tell him about my stock record, okay? But ever since he switched to politics, he's right like 97% of the time. You can use that number. I tell you, I'm giving you permission. But you can just tell him that. Say, what's up? Hey, try it. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll find out something crazy. Give it a shot. See what you think. I would appreciate it. And I'd also appreciate if you guys check out the membership. If you love this channel, if you love the free stuff, you're going to love the members' lives, and you're really going to love the Discord. So give it a shot. You can't lose. A month free. And if you like it, it's only $5 a month after that. That's it. So I think it's worth it. Hit that link in the description. I greatly appreciate you. All right. Last checkup on the comments. Alan Krentz says they all with no common sense. Yeah, you're right. The people I was talking about. Magic Moon. Nick Majors agrees. Strayhorn agrees. Brett says, I think the guy who shot through the windows of KXTV 10 last Friday because of Kimmel was taken off the air. Did that for nothing. Now he'll go to prison for a long time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a moron. Violence is never the answer. Guys, when I'm fired up, when I'm mad, like with the Charlie Kirk stuff, I tell you, we're going to defeat the left. We're going to go crazy on them. We're going to expose them at every opportunity. We're no longer putting up with them. We're no longer trying to have unity with them. There's no point. We're about winning now. That's what matters, but never with violence. Never with violence, because it doesn't ever work out. Magic Moon's going to send the babes you bump into my channel. Well, that's great. I take the subscribers, but don't tell my wife. I'm happily married. I don't want to get in trouble. Anyways, all right, love you guys. Let's end in a prayer because God knows we need it. But what a good day. Can we just say that? It was a great day. This whole YouTube, Google stuff, and the Trump UN speech, amazing stuff. Love it. So this was a good day. We're winning, and we are winning faster than ever, at a more rapid pace than ever. The American Fire, a little plug there for my channel here, it's spreading, guys, and it's spreading rapidly. The awakening is here. Revival's here. It's beautiful. All right, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless these amazing people here, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for all the winning right now. Thank you. Our country's getting back on track. Thank you. We're standing up to evil, even when it's on the public stage in front of the entire world. Thank you for the boldest, baddest president I've ever seen. Thank you for that. We don't deserve him. And it's just a miracle. And I love watching it every day. God bless him. Protect President Trump and the administration, all those working for us. Protect them. Give them wisdom in everything they do. And Lord, bless these people here, God. Bless them to make a difference in their own lives and the lives of those around them. And I just pray, God, going forward, we truly see America become great again, healthy again, and Christian again, and just better all around. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Bless you guys. Love you so much. Have a great night. And members, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody else, see you guys Thursday.